Hey, welcome Christ Place to day number 10 in the Journey Guide devotions. As you can see, I'm here in this amazing venue of CP Acoustic in the North Auditorium, and I just thought it would be a good place for today's devotion. On day 9, you read with me from Nehemiah chapter 1, verses 5 and 6, and basically it was a prayer of confession. Nehemiah is confessing his sins along with the sins of his nation, his brothers, his sisters, the people of the Jewish heritage. And then today, according to our book, day 10 is Nehemiah chapter 1, verses 10 and 11. But it occurred to me that we left out verses 7, 8, and 9. And in verses 8 and 9 in particular, Nehemiah reminds God of his promises. He says, God, you promised to hear people. You promised to forgive people when they repent. And so he's reminding God and reminding himself of what God had said, which leads us to our verses for today, verses 10 and 11, which are these. They are your servants and your people whom you redeemed by your great power and by your strong hand, O Lord. Let your ear be attentive to the prayer of your servant and to the prayer of your servants who delight to fear your name. And give success to your servant today and grant him mercy in the sight of this man. I see a few interesting points from just those two verses. First of all, Nehemiah refers to the people of the Jews as your servants, God. And in reality, many of them weren't serving him. It seemed like Nehemiah was seeing the needy people with eyes of faith. He was speaking of their potential. He was saying, God, rightfully, these people should be serving you. But I know that they're not, but you have put your claim on them. And though they're not presently serving you, I believe that they should be and they shall be. And with faith, he's confessing, he's believing that these people are going to be redeemed. It reminds me of a song I would sing some years ago. One of the lines in the chorus is said, the whole earth is full of his glory. Holy is the Lord. And I remember singing that song one day and I thought, wow, the earth isn't full of God's glory. The earth's kind of a mess. But then it occurred to me that no, the earth is God's and the fullness, everything in it. And it's right that everything on the earth be full of God's glory. It's a statement of faith. It's a statement of God, you are worthy of all of the earth, speaking of your glory, and all of the people worshiping you, as Nehemiah speaks of these people who are potentially servants of God. And then he speaks as kind of a remnant. He says, hear the prayers, hear my prayers. And there's a remnant earlier in the devotional series. I think it was Pastor Rick that spoke of a remnant. Whoever does believe right now to pray on behalf of those who are yet to become Christ followers in this case, in our case of New Testament believers. So we who are maybe few, look to the many and we say, God, you have laid claim on their life and we want to do everything we can to bring them to a place of redemption. And then he speaks of the action that he's about to take. He's about to speak to the king, but he wants to have God's blessing before he does that. And so he asks that the action that he's about to take, which has really been birthed in prayer, has the blessing of God on it. This is day number 10 in the devotional series, the journey that we're on together. And I pray that you are spending time as I'm spending time, just asking God, potentially there's so much that can happen. Would you show me what role I can play in it? And Lord, bring favor into my life so that I can be fully used for your purposes. Thanks for joining me today for day number 10. Have a great journey.